Imagine this. You're alone in a dimly lit hotel room miles from home, the kind where the air conditioner hums like a distant storm, and the city lights flicker through half-drawn curtains like ghosts whispering secrets. Your hand trembles as you pick up your phone, thumb hovering over a hidden folder that's been your forbidden sanctuary for years. Inside, videos of a love that's long gone but still burns hotter than anything you've felt since. What if the one person who truly ignited your soul is dead, but their memory refuses to fade? What if letting go means extinguishing the last spark of passion in your life? And what if right now, as your heart races, you're about to cross a line that could shatter everything you've rebuilt? That's where I found myself, Thomas, 48 years old, a man who's supposed to have it all together, but who's unraveling thread by thread. Let me take you back. Because every story like this starts in the glow of what once was perfect. It was 2010 and I was 33, grinding through life as a sales rep for a tech firm, traveling more than I was home, feeling like the world was just a series of airport lounges and empty hotel beds. That's when I met Sarah. God, Sarah, she was a force, a whirlwind of laughter and fire that pulled me in like gravity. We crossed paths at a conference in Chicago. Her as a marketing exec with that sharp wit and those emerald eyes that could read your soul in a glance. "So you look like you could use a real conversation," she said, sliding onto the bar stool next to mine, her voice like velvet over steel. We talked for hours, about dreams we'd shelved, the loneliness of the road, how life felt like it was slipping away. By the end of the night, we were tangled in each other's arms in my room, not just bodies colliding, but souls recognizing something missing. From there, it was a blaze. We got married within a year, eloping in Vegas with Elvis crooning in the background, because why wait when you know it's right? Sarah was everything, my partner in crime, my confidant, my wildfire. Our life together was electric. We'd turn ordinary moments into adventures, picnics in the rain, spontaneous road trips to nowhere, and nights where we'd lose ourselves in each other, exploring depths I didn't know existed. It was during one of those hazy, passion-fueled evenings that the idea sparked. "Let's capture this," she whispered, her breath hot against my ear as we lay spent and glowing. "Something just for us to remember how alive we feel." I hesitated at first, me the straight-laced guy from a small town, but her excitement was contagious. We set up the camera on a tripod, laughing nervously at first, then surrendering to the moment. It wasn't about the act. It was about trust, vulnerability, the raw connection that made us feel invincible. Those videos became our secret vault, a digital testament to a love that defied the ordinary. We'd watch them together sometimes, not for arousal, but for the reminder of who we were as a couple, unbreakable, insatiable. But life, as it does, started chipping away. Sarah's job ramped up, the stress piling on like storm clouds. At first, it was just a glass of wine to unwind, then two, then bottles disappearing faster than I could track. "It's nothing, Tom," she'd say, her smile faltering as she poured another. "Just helps me sleep." I believed her, or maybe I wanted to. We'd argue, quiet at first, then thunderous about her late nights, the empty promises to cut back. The passion that once united us twisted into something darker. Our intimate moments grew rare, tainted by the haze of her addiction. I'd find her passed out on the couch, the bottle tipped over, and my heart would ache with a mix of love and helplessness. "Why can't you see what this is doing to us?" I'd plead, holding her as she sobbed apologies. But alcoholism doesn't listen. It devours. By year 10, we were shadows of ourselves. The videos? They gathered digital dust, a painful echo of what we'd lost. The split came in 2022 after one too many blackouts, one too many nights where I slept in the guest room, wondering if love was enough. "I can't watch you destroy yourself anymore," I told her, tears streaming as I packed a bag. She begged me to stay, her eyes bloodshot but still holding that spark. "We'll fix it, Tom, please." But I walked out, heart shattered, convincing myself it was for the best. We divorced amicably, or as amicably as you can when every fiber screams otherwise. I threw myself into work, dated sporadically, but nothing stuck. Sarah, she spiraled. Friends told me she tried rehab once, twice, but the bottle always won. Then last October 2024, the call came. Overdose, accidental, they said, but I knew better. It was the culmination of a war she'd been losing alone. I attended the funeral in a daze, surrounded by her family, whispering condolences that felt hollow. "She loved you so much," her sister said, hugging me tight. I nodded, but inside I was screaming. Why hadn't I fought harder? Why had I let go? In the months that followed, grief hit like waves, crashing, retreating, leaving me breathless. I met Emily through a mutual friend, a kind-hearted teacher with a gentle laugh and eyes that promised stability. She was everything Sarah wasn't: steady, sober, safe. We dated, fell into a comfortable rhythm, and by spring we were married. "This is my second chance," I told myself on our wedding day, as we exchanged vows under a blooming cherry tree. Sex with Emily was good, tender, affectionate, the kind that builds a home. But when I traveled alone in those sterile rooms, the pull returned. I'd open my phone, scroll to that encrypted folder I'd never deleted. Just once, I'd whisper to the empty air. The videos played, and there she was, Sarah, alive, vibrant, her touch igniting memories that made my body respond in ways nothing else could. The release was explosive, but the guilt? It lingered like smoke, choking me. Why couldn't I let her go? Was this betrayal? Or just a man clinging to ghosts? As the months wore on, the habit deepened. I'd tell myself it was harmless, a private ritual, a way to honor what we had. But doubts crept in. What if Emily found out? What if this was more than grief? What if it was an addiction of my own? One night in a Seattle hotel, rain pattering against the window like accusing fingers, I hit play again. Sarah's voice filled the room, sultry and teasing. "Come here, Tom, show me how much you want this." My pulse quickened, but something felt off. In the background of the video, a shadow moved. Wait, was that always there? I paused, rewound, heart pounding. No, it couldn't be. Just a trick of the light. But as I stared, curiosity twisted into unease. What secrets had Sarah hidden in those frames? And why, after all this time, did watching her feel like summoning a storm I couldn't control? The shadow in the video gnawed at me like a splinter under the skin, impossible to ignore once noticed. I replayed the clip obsessively that night, zooming in on the grainy footage, my breath shallow as the hotel room seemed to close in. Was it just a curtain fluttering in the breeze from the open window? Or something, someone else? Sarah's laugh echoed from the speakers, carefree and intoxicating, pulling me back to those stolen moments we'd filmed in our old apartment, the one with the creaky floors and walls thin as secrets. But now doubt poisoned the nostalgia. Had she been hiding something all along? I shut off the phone, heart hammering, and paced the room, the carpet muffling my steps like a guilty conscience. Sleep evaded me, replaced by fragments of memories, her mysterious late-night texts, the times she'd slip out for a walk and return smelling faintly of smoke and something sharper. By morning, exhaustion blurred the edges, but the questions lingered. What if our perfect love had cracks I'd never seen? Back home with Emily, I tried to bury it. Our life was a picture of domestic bliss. Dinners on the patio, weekend hikes in the hills, her hand in mine as we watched sunsets paint the sky. "You seem distant lately," she said one evening, stirring pasta sauce that filled the kitchen with the warm scent of garlic and basil. Her brown eyes searched mine, soft with concern. I forced a smile, pulling her close. "Just work stress, babe. Nothing a good night's sleep won't fix." We made love that night, her touch gentle and reassuring, but as I lay there afterward, staring at the ceiling fan's lazy spin, my mind wandered back to Sarah. The videos called to me like a siren's song, but I resisted for a while. Emily deserved better than a husband haunted by ghosts. Yet the road called again, a conference in New York, and with it, the solitude that amplified every whisper of temptation. In the bustling heart of Manhattan, the hotel was a sleek tower of glass and steel, my room on the 30th floor, overlooking the chaotic symphony of taxis and pedestrians below. First night alone, I cracked. "One last time," I muttered, locking the door as if that could contain the shame. The video loaded, our favorite from a beach getaway in Maui, where the ocean waves crashed in the background like applause for our passion. Sarah's skin glowed under the sunset light, filtering through the cabana, her whispers turning to moans that still sent shivers down my spine. But there it was again, that fleeting shadow, this time clearer, like a figure pausing at the edge of the frame. I froze the screen, enhancing the image on my laptop, pixels sharpened into a silhouette, male? My stomach twisted. No, impossible. We'd been alone, or had we? Paranoia bloomed. I scoured the other videos one by one in the dead of night, the city's hum a distant roar. In a clip from our anniversary trip to Paris, a faint reflection in the hotel mirror caught my eye, eyes staring back that weren't mine or hers. What the hell was going on? The next day, fueled by coffee and unease, I dug deeper. I remembered Sarah's old laptop, tucked away in a storage box in our garage. Emily's garage now, but I couldn't access it without raising flags. Instead, I called her sister, Lisa, under the pretense of checking in. "Hey, Tom," she answered, her voice warm but edged with the grief we shared. "Everything okay?" I hesitated, then dove in. "Lisa, did Sarah ever mention, I don't know, anyone else? During our rough patches?" Silence stretched thick as fog. "Why are you asking this now?" She finally said, cautious. I mumbled something about closure, dreams haunting me. She had her demons, Tom, the drinking. It changed her. There were times she'd disappear, come back different. But she loved you. Don't torture yourself. Her words hung like a veil, revealing nothing, concealing everything. That night back in the hotel, I watched again, the shadow now a taunt. Who was it? A lover? A dealer? The suspense clawed at me, each viewing unraveling another thread of our history. Weeks blurred into a cycle of normalcy pierced by secret binges. Emily noticed my distractions. Forgotten anniversaries, zoned-out conversations. "Talk to me, Thomas," she pleaded one rainy afternoon as we sat on the couch with mugs of tea steaming between us. Thunder rumbled outside, mirroring the storm inside me. I wanted to confess, to spill the poison, but how? "I still miss her," I admitted partially, tears welling. "Sarah, it's like she's not really gone." Emily pulled me into her arms, her embrace a lifeline. "Grief doesn't have a timeline, but I'm here now. We can face it together." Her kindness only amplified the guilt, a rising tide threatening to drown me. Yet when travel struck again, this time Dallas, the pull was irresistible. In the sterile suite, I opened the folder, but something had changed. A new file appeared, time-stamped after her death. Impossible. My fingers shook as I clicked, static at first. Then Sarah's face filled the screen, pale and drawn, not from our golden days, but later, during the decline. "Tom," she whispered, her voice cracked like dry earth. "If you're watching this, I'm sorry. There's something you need to know." The revelation hit like a freight train. In the video, dated just weeks before her overdose, Sarah sat in a dimly lit room, our old apartment, judging by the familiar peeling wallpaper. "I never told you everything," she confessed, eyes darting as if expecting interruption. "The drinking. It started because of him, Mark. He was a colleague, but it turned into more during one of your trips. I ended it, but he wouldn't let go. Those videos?" he found out, threatened to expose them unless I... Her voice broke, tears streaming. "I paid him off, but the shame... It ate me alive. That's why I spiraled. Forgive me, Tom, delete them. Move on." The screen faded to black, but my world exploded. Mark. Who the hell was Mark? The shadows made sense now. Him lurking, filming us without our knowledge? Rage boiled, mixed with betrayal's sharp sting. Had our intimacy been violated? Was this why she drank, to numb the blackmail? I slammed the laptop shut, breath ragged, the room spinning. How had this file appeared? Had she set it to auto-upload somehow, triggered by her death? Or was someone playing games? Suspense coiled tighter. I needed answers. Scrolling through old emails on my phone, I found traces, cryptic messages from her about handling a problem. Then a name, Mark Reynolds, her firm's IT guy. A quick search on my phone pulled up his profile, alive while living in Chicago. My fists clenched. Was he the shadow? The one who pushed her over the edge? The thought ignited a firestorm of emotions. Fury at him, heartbreak for her, self-loathing for my obliviousness. That night, instead of the usual ritual I plotted, I'd confront him, unearth the truth. But as dawn broke, doubt crept in. What if this destroyed my life with Emily? What if digging deeper unearthed horrors I couldn't unsee? The decision crystallized in the Dallas dawn, as the first rays pierced the skyline like accusatory fingers. I couldn't let this fester any longer. The shadows, the secrets, Sarah's posthumous confession. Mark Reynolds had to answer for what he'd done. I booked a flight to Chicago that afternoon, telling Emily it was a last-minute work detour. "Be safe," she texted, with a heart emoji that twisted the knife deeper. Guilt warred with resolve as the plane lifted off, the ground falling away like the stability I'd clung to. What was I doing? chasing phantoms that could upend my new life. But the curiosity, no, the need to unravel this thriller of betrayal burned hotter than any flame Sarah and I had kindled. By evening, I was in the Windy City, checking into a nondescript motel on the outskirts, the kind where no one asks questions. I pulled up Mark's address from a quick online search, a modest apartment in Wrigleyville, near the ballpark where cheers echoed like distant memories of happier times. That night, sleep was a stranger. I replayed Sarah's video in my mind, her haunted eyes pleading for forgiveness. "He threatened to expose them," she'd said. "Expose what?" Our private moments twisted into leverage. Rage simmered, but beneath it a deeper emotion churned. Heartbreak that our love had been tainted, that I'd failed to protect her. Morning brought a plan. Confront him subtly, pose as an old friend seeking closure. I drove a rental car through the bustling streets, the autumn leaves swirling like confetti in a tragedy. His building was a faded brick walk-up, graffiti tagging the door like scars. I buzzed the intercom, heart pounding. "Yeah?" A gruff voice crackled. "Mark? It's Thomas, Sarah's ex. I need to talk." Silence, then the buzz of the lock. As I climbed the stairs, suspense thickened the air, each step echoing like a countdown. He opened the door, a wiry man in his late 40s, with greasy hair and eyes shadowed by suspicion. The apartment reeked of stale pizza and regret, cluttered with tech gadgets, screens flickering in the dim light. "What do you want?" he snarled, blocking the doorway like a guard at forbidden gates. I stepped in anyway, my voice steady despite the tremor inside. "Sarah's dead." "But you know that, don't you? She left me a message. About you, the affair, the blackmail." His face paled, a flicker of fear betraying him. "I don't know what you're talking about." But his hands shook as he lit a cigarette, the smoke curling like lies. I pressed, "The videos." "You were there, weren't you? Lurking in the shadows." He laughed, a bitter bark. "You think you knew her? Sarah was a mess long before me. Yeah, we hooked up. Once, maybe twice, when you were off playing salesman. But blackmail? That's her story, man. She owed me money for booze for fixes. I helped her, and she spun tales to keep you hooked." The room spun as his words landed like punches. Was this the truth, or another layer of deception? I demanded proof, my voice rising. He smirked, pulling out an old phone from a drawer. "Fine, see for yourself." He played a recording, audio only, but Sarah's voice was unmistakable. "Mark, I need more." "Tom can't know." Rustling, then his reply. "This is the last time, Sarah. Pay up or I tell him everything." The timestamp matched our rough patches. Betrayal crashed over me, not just from her, but from the illusion I'd cherished. But then a twist. He admitted to hacking our devices, slipping in malware during a work event. "I saw those videos," he confessed, eyes gleaming with malice. "Hot stuff. Thought about selling them, but she paid me off. After you split, she begged me to delete my copies. I did, for a price." My fists clenched. I lunged, grabbing his collar. "You drove her to it." "The drinking, the overdose, your fault." We scuffled, crashing into a table, gadgets scattering like broken promises. He shoved me back, gasping. "She chose the bottle, not me." "But yeah, I pushed." "She threatened to report me, said she'd expose the affair to my wife, so I sent her one last video, anonymously, to remind her what was at stake." The climax hit like lightning. He pulled up an email on his laptop, sent posthumously. No timed before her death, but bounced back undelivered until now. It was one of our videos, edited with taunting captions. "Remember this? Pay or everyone sees." Sarah must have seen it, the final straw in her fragile state. "You killed her," I whispered, horror and rage colliding. Mark sneered. "Accident. She was weak." In that moment, everything shattered. The man I'd become, clinging to ghosts, exploded into action. I grabbed his phone, smashing it against the wall, then bolted, heart thundering as he yelled threats. Outside, rain poured, washing the streets clean, but not my soul. I drove aimlessly, emotions swirling. Deep sorrow for Sarah's hidden pain, fury at Mark's predation, and a profound self-reckoning. How had I missed the signs? Was my obsession with those videos just a way to avoid facing the rot beneath our passion? Back in the motel, I deleted the folder, every last file, watching the progress bar like a funeral pyre. Tears fell, a release long overdue. Sarah wasn't the saint I'd idolized. She was human, flawed, ensnared in a web of her own making. And me? I'd been trapped too, using her memory as a crutch, betraying Emily in the shadows. The irony twisted like a knife. In chasing closure, I'd found it, but at what cost? Calling the police anonymously, I reported Mark's confessions, blackmail, harassment, letting justice take its course without my direct involvement. It wasn't revenge. It was severance. Returning home, the weight lifted, though scars remained. Emily greeted me with a hug that felt like home. "Missed you," she murmured. That night we talked, really talked. I confessed the grief, the pull of the past, omitting the darkest details but sharing the emotional truth. "I need to let her go," I said, voice breaking. She held me, her strength a balm. "We all carry ghosts, Tom, but we choose who walks with us." In the weeks that followed, life reshaped. Therapy for the unresolved pain, deeper connection with Emily, a vow to honor Sarah by living fully, not in fantasy. The lesson sank deep. Love isn't just fire. It's forgiveness even for the broken parts. Clinging to echoes can poison the present, but facing the thriller of truth, it sets you free, leaving you wiser if wounded. If you were in this situation, what would you do? Comment below with your thoughts and subscribe for more gripping stories that dive into the heart of human complexity.